Right, moving on to question 2 of the formative assessment exercises. The immediate thing that you should notice when looking at this component here is that we have a cross-section dimensioned view, and the component is a circular part, and therefore we're thinking about a revolve. The position of the revolve is also important, and these two datum markers A and B here, which it says down here, denote the origin position in X and Y. They will define the origin as being at this point here, so in line with the bottom edge of the wheel and on the centre line. That isn't important for creating the shape of the part, but it is important when it comes to identifying the component's centre of gravity, which is the bonus question, which we'll come on to later. Okay, so we're going to begin this by creating the cross-section sketch. Remember, we only need to do half of it, so from the centre line to one direction. I'm going to go from the centre line towards the left, and then we can rotate that through 360 to create our solid. So I choose my plane, and I'm going to begin by drawing the centre line from the origin as a vertical line. I'll start creating the geometry and just roughly draw the approximate shape. There we go. Now I want this edge and this edge to be collinear to each other, so I'm going to add that relation. So choose that and that, and say collinear, and that's put in the relations that we need. And I can start building in the dimensions to control it. So we've got a 70mm there, we've got a 3mm here and here. It's starting to take shape already. That's all the vertical dimensions. Now put the horizontal dimensions in as well. So 20mm there, and last is 15 there. Okay, so that has got all the dimensions on it, and all the relations that we need. I can now create the wall thickness by using the offset tool. I set it as 3mm and click offset. You can see how it will create that offset edge. And then I can start to construct the remaining lines along here. I am able to now put in a dimension to fix this part in relation to the centre line first. So we've got a dimension from there to there of 45mm, and you can see how that has now made the whole of the sketch go black. It's also apparent that we've got some extra line here which I don't need, so I can use a delete to get rid of that. I can also use the extend tool and the trim tool tidy up the corner. And here, if I extend that down, it would appear a little bit of extra line. So it's you have to be careful about checking that you haven't got any stray edges anywhere. The fact that we had one up here led me to look in a little bit more detail about the corner down here. Okay, I'm now going to continue my lines and put in the dimensions needed along this edge as well. So from that point to there is 5, from that point to there is 15. That angle is 20, and lastly should be a distance across there which is also 20, and that's brought that down into position. Again, I use the offset tool, 3mm offset, to create the shape of that, and finish it off with that extra line, and I want to trim this part of the line. So the sketch is saying it's fully defined. However, if you look up here, we need to make sure that there are no stray elements. This part here could be tidied up. You could make that as a single line. If I delete one line, I can use the extend tool to complete it. What you want to try and avoid is any points that are not on corners. And here we have a point that is not attached to the line. So if I select that, it appears that there's actually 2 lines there. This came about with the offset tool. I'll delete that. It tidies the sketch up. As you can see, it's still fully defined, but little things like that will prevent the sketch from being rotated properly. So let's complete the sketch. Now if I choose revolve, pick my centre line, and we get a preview of the component. Click the tick. Now, adding the corner radiuses on may be easier to do as a sectional view, so change it to sectional view. It's just you can see the sharp edges, make sure you haven't missed anything, and choose my fillet tool, set it as 2mm, and we'll pick all the edges so there are no sharp edges on the component. Now it can get a little bit difficult to see exactly what you're doing in a single view. I think that's all of them, but when we tick it and take a look at it, you should be able to see if there's any that you've missed, and then you can edit the fillet and add any additional ones on, but I think that's got them all. So the only sharp corners are the hole in the centre and the two outside faces. Actually, if you look closely at the drawing, the cross-section drawing, you will notice that this corner here is kept as a sharp edge, and this one should be filleted. So let's just make the edit to alter those two, make those two changes. So edit the fillet, and I need to just pick the edge to deselect it, and then we pick this edge to select it. It's always worth double checking your drawings, make sure that you've got everything exactly the same. Okay, I think we're okay now, and click my mass properties. All these answers are very close to each other. When I created the answers, the multiple choice answers on cross section may not have had it configured exactly as per the drawing. I think probably if this was left sharp, maybe that would give you one of the answers on the list. So if I turn that one off, run mass properties, there I've got a 31.99. Don't worry too much. If you've got a mass property information of around about 32mm, give or take 0.1 of a mil, then you're fairly sure that your origin point was in the right place, and your form should be either identical or fairly close, give or take one or two of the fillet radii. And I think we'll leave that question there.